The tower clock says it's 5 minutes to 3. I don't get along with watering calves very well, but, well, if it's going to help save Patagrul. Thank God for the invention of springs. What the heck was in that glass? Right, a spare intestine. Just what I needed. Sheeps have the enviable characteristic of accumulating their fat deposits on their backs and in their tails. If only I had a tail. Little lamb, who made thee? Dost thou know who made thee? Give thee life and bid thee feed. By the stream and over the mead. Give thee clothing of delight. Soft as clothing, woolly, bright. Give thee such a tender voice, making all the vales rejoice. Little lamb, who made thee? Dost thou know who made thee? Like a bale of hay, only bigger. I'm not hungry right now. This statue is without a shadow of a doubt the ugliest work of art I've ever set my myopic eyes on. You expect Basalt to understand me? I don't suppose you'd be so kind as to lend me your knife, Mr. Statue. Mind if I call you Mr. Statue? Maybe I should find a more constructive way of wasting my time. Like, I don't know, maybe instead of talking to statues, I could take up stamp collecting, or distilling, or I could even go to bridge parties, if only my health permitted.
Just call me Chuck.
What? Zoinks! So you're not statues, you're actors.
I told you this guy was a theater buff.
That's crazy.
You want to use my knife, do you? Well, I guess if you can just wait until we finish our act, you can have it as far as I'm concerned. We won't be needing it in tomorrow's show.
Wow, thanks! So, what are you going to be putting on tomorrow?
I believe tomorrow's show is Samson and the Philistines. Isn't that it, Harold?
That's it, Chuck.
Which means we won't need a knife. An ass's jawbone and a nice platinum blonde wig will do the trick.
Is everything okay, actor?
Well, to tell you the truth, I've been having a little difficulty swallowing.
You guys like wigs too? Oh, better not get me started on the topic of wigs. Let's just say that if it weren't for wigs, well, I'd be wasting my whole life sitting around trying to figure out what the purpose of life is.
Oh, I see. Well, I must admit they are, useful and,
Useful? Useful? You want to hear 500 reasons why a wig is better than a woman?
No.
And 12 reasons why every man in his right mind ought to make sure that his cat wears one?
Well, will that really be necessary?
I guess not.
Well, I'll pass then. Thanks.
Would you mind telling me something? What made you decide to become an actor?
Well, I started going to acting school after my initial attempt to make a splash in the world of pro basketball.
You mean you weren't tall enough either?
No, that was the time I tried to join the Marines. They just said I was too dumb to play basketball.
When do you get off shift, guys?
We are off at 3:30, but this evening time just seems to stand still.
Yeah, if I weren't on tranquilizers, I'd swear I'd been here for days now.
What time is it anyway?
The tower clock says it's just before 3.
What about your watch?
Sorry, I don't wear a watch.
Ah, by choice, I presume?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
What do you mean?
Well, I suppose it was a choice on the part of that tiny meteorite that fell out of space right onto my wrist. I was lucky that my pocket wristwatch absorbed most of the impact and saved me from the loss of my forearm.
Amazing!
But how do you ever stay so perfectly still? I mean, that's a skill that should not be underestimated. If one day I should find myself carrying out an investigation in a wax museum or an embalmer's trade fair, it could come in very handy.
Ah, it's not that hard.
No?
The handful of pills I take at random before I come on shift does most of the work for me.
But that's dangerous. Taking drugs indiscriminately and in random combinations can lead to death.
And what is that to me? Could I have lived a life any fuller?
Hi.
And just who are you, might I ask?
My name is Tony Tuff, Private Eye, specializing in the investigation of occult phenomena, of lumber, and of the relationship between the two.
I've heard that Private Eye line about 1,000,000 times now, but it still gets me every time. Come on now, get serious.
Oh, all right. It's no use trying to hide anything from you. The truth is, I'm a luminary from the world of parapsychology.
What did you say you were?
A sort of scientist.
What? You? A scientist?
You think I'd lie to you?
Oh, of course not, Professor. How can I help you?
Well then. I was wondering where I might find the park boss.
At the moment, I believe he's somewhere out at the top of the pumpkin patch. Or at least he was a few hours ago, when I was cleaning the control room up at the top.
At the top of that unnerving cross between the vegetable and mineral kingdoms outside here?
That's right.
Do you have any health problems that I ought to know about?
I sure do. I've been suffering from a rare case of intestinal irritation for years now.
Diverticulitis.
That's it. Do you have it too?
Well, no.
I need to see a specialist right away. Can you help me?
Well, as a matter of fact, my specialization is mesenteric ulcers.
I see.
I would like to know if you've ever had reason to resort to entomophagism.
No, I don't think so.
And for the purposes of my research, I was wondering how often you have the asbestos content in the air in here measured.
But I don't, I'm sorry, but
Yes, I understand, and I forgive you. It's perfectly understandable that your incompetence has prevented you from achieving a position of authority in this organization.
Yes, Doctor. Thank you. Of course, it's just as you say. If I can help you in any way, don't hesitate to ask.
Well, it so happens that I do need some help at the moment.
All you need to do is ask, Mr. Scientist.
I need your help with clinical experimentation of the theory put forth by the great Professor Luke Just.
What do I have to do?
The eminent Dr. Just stated that there are sense organs located in the back of the head, which are capable of comprehending objective reality with a gestaltic perception of totality equivalent to that of the sense of sight.
What's that you say?
Well, to put it simply, what he meant was that people really do have eyes in the backs of their heads.
And what do you want me to do?
You don't have any psychoactive drugs?
No, I quit after my 5th pregnancy.
That's too bad. Could we try?
Well, yes.
Turn around and try to see what I'm doing.
Right away, Professor. Are you signing numbers with your hands? I can't see anything. I'm trying hard, but all I can see is a polished brass door knocker shaped like a dog. Are you taking the washing up liquid? Was that right?
Not at all. What a disappointment, ma'am. You have provided proof that all these theories are just a vain effort to explain the mysterious innate abilities of the human mind. All those years of study, for nothing.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm afraid. I hope it's not my fault.
Oh, don't worry, ma'am. If anyone's to blame, it's me for being so gullible.
Listen, I'll try again. This time I'll really try harder.
Oh no, it's no use. I better just get going now.
I'm so sorry. Come back whenever you like, Doctor.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all?
Verily, verily, I say unto you, the fairest of all is the cleaning lady.
Oh, come off it. I know it was you who said that since when do mirrors say, verily, verily, I say unto you.
Well, you can't blame me for trying. After all, you were talking to the furniture yourself just now.
Touché. Now this is a big thing that's changed since I was a child. I have more years behind me, and a bellows in my overcoat. Have you been harboring a secret wish to drink blood, fly like a bat, and be chased by enraged hordes desirous of driving a stake through your heart? If so, my dear friends, what you are suffering from is an acute case of vampire fever. And now you, the aspiring undead, may experience the thrill of looking into a mirror and not seeing your reflection with this patented vampire mirror from Karak Inc. I'd like to say something about that, but I've been paralyzed by Stendhal syndrome. Come with me and do not attempt to resist. Anything you say may be used against you in court. The boar has the arrogant features typical of artiodactyls. The guys down at the office say it's, quote, simply repulsive, unquote.
Yuck! That's gross!
Ew! These pigeons are getting to be a real nuisance.
Oh no, again!
Ugh.
There's no battery in the loudspeaker, and I won't underestimate the problem this time like I did with my grandpa's old pacemaker. Now, my dear zombie, seeing as you are more than 90% composed of a spongy synthetic product and thereby by definition unsound of mind, I shall take this opportunity to repeat those words of Winston Churchill which have been haunting me since my college days. Man will occasionally stumble over the truth, but most times he will pick himself up and carry on. Hey, what a strange feeling. That's odd. I don't recall taking any antidepressives. Well, at least not on purpose. In any case, I must admit I feel much better now. It's like I've achieved a higher level of consciousness in the midst of all this noise and all these peculiar comings and goings. Yes, it must be true. How else would I have gained a new option in my interface? From that most holy wave I now returned, remade as new trees are renewed. When they bring forth new boughs, I was pure and prepared to climb unto the stars. That would be a pointless waste of energy. I'm so weak I'd have to shave several times a day, otherwise the weight of the stubble will prevent me from walking upright. Listen to this, Mr. Gargoyle. So, I was sitting at a sticky table and a greasy spoon when... And then he said, "Clay who?" Get it? Clay who? Excuse me, sir. May I ask you something?
I fear, good sir, you lack the sense to know when a man is best left in peace.
I'm sorry, but
And unless my nose betrays me, I take it your lordship has not a close acquaintance with the notion of soap. And now, dear sir, kindly allow me to proceed with my task.
Huh? I didn't like that quip about the soap one bit. Please, just one moment of your time.
May I be buried under a stack of malarial corpses if you were not the worst torment ever to plague me.
And have you been plagued by many such torments, might I ask?
But kind sir, I need not tell. Though you be the first, yet should you be the worst of the heap.
Yeah, I guess it doesn't make any difference, really.
Speak, my good sir, and tell me wherefore you plague me so.
Ahem. Yes. I just wanted to ask why these strange ablutions...
This I may reveal, kind sir, on that condition that you swear on your knightly honor that my reply shall not bring forth an endless train of inquiries and uninteresting tales from your most deathly boring past.
Scout's honor.
Well, I must perforce begin my tale some time ago.
If you want to skip the Cenozoic era, that's fine with me. I already know lots about that one.
As his lordship wishes. In any case, I was about to start with this afternoon.
Ah.
I woke on my bed of straw to the sound of the telephone ringing. It was the mighty sovereign of this park, who, allow me to say without false modesty, entrusted me with a task of the utmost importance. It being, kind sir, preparation of the grand finale for the wondrous spectacle to be held on the morn.
What kind of spectacle?
Well, my first idea was to execute a volunteer from the audience.
Yikes!
But in time, I determined that perhaps, I say perhaps, an ordinary illusionist show might go down better.
And what's your idea for the show?
Oh well, I shall cast myself, bound in padlocked steel chains, into a pool of brine, seething with man-eating aquatic predators and thumbtacks.
Thumbtacks? What are the thumbtacks for, might I ask?
Oh, just for show. Audiences love 'em.
I see. And however will you get out alive? I mean, sharks, piranhas, morays, and all that, they're not exactly lapdogs.
Oh, I shall doubtless think of something. For the time being, I'm concentrating on practice and holding my breath underwater. Whenceforth, I passed the afternoon at the Bearded Walrus Tavern with my head in a barrel of rum, and whenceforth the ablutions at which you interrupted me. My tale is told. And now, if you'll pardon me, fare you well, sir.
Did you ever think of putting on a musical instead? I don't know, about the life of Heraclitus or something?
It grieves me to remind you, sir, that you swore a solemn oath.
Zoinks, that's right. Live by the soap, die by the soap.
Ah! My eyes! Oh, such agony! Ah! What pain! Ah, I am blind! Blind! Ah! Who did this? Who did this to me? Ah!
No one. Ha, you see, my study of classical myth was not all in vain.
I saw Gwendol go by here, whining like a little child. Can you tell me what happened?
Nothing special. He was just checkmated in 7 moves by the best chess player in my entire apartment complex.
And who's that? I didn't see anyone else come in here.
Oh, never mind.